I just want to talk to you just for a few minutes about my background. Obviously, you know and you see that I'm not from a political background. I come from a business background. I think at this point in this city's future, in this city's history, it's vitally important that we have someone with a business background to begin to take the reins and to take this city forward. And I just want to tell you a little bit about, I've been managing or owning Delta Auto Parts for about 30 years. I managed for 12 years under my dad. He passed away, and I wound up owning Delta Auto Parts now for about 18 years. And I believe it gives me a unique perspective on the business of this city. As an owner, I also work side by side, not lately, actually Amber told me stay out of Delta Auto Parts because I bring too much confusion. But before all this started, I also work side by side every day with my employees. And in my business in particular, everyone who comes through the door has a problem, which is probably not all that unlike the way that the mayor's office is going to be. Their car's broken, they're looking for help, and I receive and always have received a large amount of satisfaction by helping them through those problems. You might say that I have a lot of experience at this public service thing as a problem solver. I understand how to run a successful business on a budget by working hard at it every day. We've come through several difficult times in this community and over the years, and my business has grown stronger and actually has even flourished during those times. Right now happens to be one of those times. I know we're in an economic downturn, but we're very successful. Someone reminded me just today that in spite of the fact that we're in a bit of an economic downturn, we've been successful even as we've gone up against some of the national brands and the national companies, and so we've been pretty successful with that. I understand how to maximize dollars to the greatest benefit, and nobody will understand that except another business owner. I understand how monthly financial statements help that business to organize and to plan for the immediate future as well as for the long term. So that's my business experience. I also have assumed almost every leadership role in my church, which is First Assembly of God. I have served on the official board for several years, but I've also served in pretty much every position in that church over those years. We've been there since 1966, which is how long we've been in Blytheville. And I have served in just about every position, including associate pastor and interim pastors, in between pastors on several different occasions. Right now, my main function is Christian Education Director, and in that capacity, I'm also training other leaders, so I understand about leadership. And both my professional and my church associations have provided me with many different leadership training opportunities. And I feel that those business and leadership roles have uniquely prepared me to lead this city into the future. Principles of leadership and business are the same, whether you're dealing with a church of 300, or whether you're dealing with a small business, or whether you're dealing with a city with a $15 million budget. Those principles remain the same. That's the reason I say I'm uniquely qualified out of the candidates that we have. And I believe this, in my company and in this city, it's more important than ever before that we look at everything with a sense of business as we go forward. With the changing times, with new technologies, rising cost of living, we've got to focus our vision on making sure that we aren't doing business as usual, but doing whatever's necessary today to keep our budget in check. I have to do that in my business. We have to do that as a city. I've spent the last 30 years, a lot of people ask this question, where did you come from? Okay? And I've spent the last 30 years building a business and rearing a family. And I feel at least moderately successful with both of those. My kids have chosen to live in this city and to be a part of this city, be a part of my business with me. And so I feel very successful as a father. But as I came to the end of those years, they're all grown now and married and out of the home, and they say they won't stay away, but we're a close family anyway, so they're welcome anytime. But I began to seriously consider deeper involvement approximately 5 years, which resulted in me attending council meetings over the past about 3 years now and really trying to find out what was going on in city government. And the further I got involved with that, the more I realized that it was something that I wanted to be a part of. And I began to try to learn a lot about what was going on. When the mayor's position became open at the beginning really of this year, it looked like that we were going to need a new mayor. I began to kind of watch to see who was going to rise up, and of the candidates that rose up at that point in time, I didn't see anyone that was more qualified than I, and so through a series of events, I just decided that it was something that I felt like that I needed to be a part of. I do feel that I've offered the best chance to bring all the elements of our community together for common purpose. And that common purpose is the furtherance of this city and the building of this city into the great city that it can be. I believe that. The bottom line of my candidacy is that I want to be mayor because I care about this community. I don't have any agenda other than I desire to see Blytheville prosper and to be successful, and I believe that I offer the skill set to make that happen. The strengths that I bring to this race are integrity, a business mind, and a can-do attitude. Albert Einstein said something to the effect that you can't keep doing the same things over and over and expect different results. And someone stated it like this: the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I believe that the city of Blytheville needs someone who doesn't just talk about change, but's willing to do whatever is necessary to bring that change to pass. And I'll tell you that I'm not totally comfortable talking about the things that I can do for this city, because I'm really way more of a doer than I am a talker. But it's essential in this election that we have a mayor who's willing to think outside the box in order to bring that type of a change. The time for status quo is past. It's time for us to move forward. One of the key principles of leadership